welcome to Stashbusting Saturday. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and today I've got a few little bits to show you, but we'll just see how we get on. First thing is, I have got my signature sorted out for the Romantique journal, and the reason I'm including this in today's video is because I have used some of my stash to be able to put the signature together. So let me just walk you through what I'm doing before I take you on to the other bits and pieces. So I decided on this for the front page, but I wanted it to be kind of a little bit mystique, if you like. So I put on here, this is just a page of the, what's it called, tracing paper that I've got in my stash. I don't use it very often. I have used it in other journals and I think it works really nicely, but I thought just as an opener, so when you open your journal up, you're going to have this in front of you, and it just gives you kind of that little bit of, oh, what's this behind the page? And then obviously as you open it up, then you've got your full page there. So I thought that was quite nice. And then throughout the journal, we are going to have, I've pulled out a few little bits and pieces that I had. I had some rice paper. This was a full A4 size, and it was a portrait size rather than a landscape. So what I've done with this is I've cut it in half, and I've stuck the two pieces together so that the top and bottom around the right way, and I thought I would add it into the journal. And whilst the colours aren't exactly right, because obviously I appreciate there are blues in it, and this is more along the lines of a pinky kind of burgundy journal. I don't know if you can see, but there are pinks in the little birds there, which I thought was very lovely. And then obviously you've got the yellows to go with this piece around here. So I think that works really nicely. So I'm very happy with that. And this rice paper has been in my stash for longer than I care to imagine. So do you know what? I just think it works really nicely in here because there are birds in the journal. And as we walk through, I had a piece of vellum with the with little roses and things on, which I thought was nice. So I just trimmed, and this was the last piece of it that I had. So I've just trimmed it down and popped it in there as well, to go with the roses in here. And again, it just adds to the textures and dimension of the journal. This is another piece of the rice paper that I had, which is kind of just like a background really, which I thought was really nice. And I thought that helped to break up the two journal pages a little bit. So that was my reasoning behind that. And then I think there's another one. Yeah, so there's another one here, which has got some lovely little flowers down here, which are a very pink hue. And over here, we've got some more of the little birds, which I just think are just lovely, aren't they? And then this was just a plain piece. I don't know if you can see. Let me take this out. This was just a plain piece of rice paper. In fact, I'm not even sure it's rice paper actually. I think it is, but it's got little flecks of white through it. I put this through my printer and I printed off her, which I think has worked really well, and it's actually taken to it really well. And the way I did that was I attached this page, because it's too thin to go through the printer. I attached this page to some lightweight cardstock, just very gently with a little bit of washi tape, and it went through the printer absolutely fine. But again, I just thought this added a really nice breakup to some of the journal pages, and it looks, well, I think it looks awesome. Oop, lost it now. Silly me. Yeah, I just think it looks awesome. So that kind of breaks up that page there, which is beautiful, loving it. And then as you come over, obviously that was my centre page that I decided on. And then as you come over here, you've then got this, the back piece of that, which also breaks up these two bits of journaling space. So I think they work, I'm hoping you can see all this okay. I think they work really, really well. And there's my little birdies there. Actually, I just wonder, can I maybe make that work better that way round? Because then it's the birds with the birds. I like that better, I think. Although that then gives plain there. I don't mind that. There we go. I've got my birds with my birds now. So that's nice. And then the other little bits that I've got in here, let me just go through and show you what it looks like on the outside or on the reverse side of the journal. So we've got our little plain bit of rice paper there. And I'm not sure if I want to trim those edges actually. I wasn't going to, but I've just noticed there's some writing there. I'm not sure I like that on there. So I might just trim that before I finalise things. And then we've got our little roses here to go with the roses here. And we have our little birdies or a little plain bit of floral in here. The yellows I think go really nicely with the outside here. And then the final little bit was our tracing paper, which not only acts as a little kind of bit of mystique to this, but it also adds to the protecting the journal pages as well. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I'm still recording there, and I had a call come in and I've just cancelled it, so there we go. So yeah, so that's the signature. So I'm very happy with that. And then let me just pop that to one side for a second. And then the little mini journal notelets that I was making, I have finished them. I did put little photos on the actual video, but I've completed the little tuck-ins as well. So these are the little tuck-ins. I did use a little bit of the sequin netting, and I've put in here a little tag which is backed with one of the digitals, and I've added a little bit of the netting there on there as a pull. And I decided to add a little butterfly, but my fussy cutting isn't perfect, and I couldn't make two butterflies marry up to go on here just as butterflies. So I thought if I just punch them out, they look quite nice like that anyway, don't they? So I've done that just to add a little something onto there, which I think is really cute. So very happy with that. And I also took that from an offcut that I had that was otherwise going to go to waste. So that was a bit of a stash buster as well. And yeah, I decided to keep the back and the inside cover plain. So yeah, that's just plain. And then on this one, I'm going to do this, and I have made up my mind what I'm putting on there, so I'm going to do that in just a moment. And this one, I did this little design on. I put this little journal card in again with the backing, and again I just added the little netting just in the darker pink for in there. So that's those ones done. And I'm going to add a little punch for here. And what I've decided to add for here is, this was my little prototype of the one that I completed. So this was a prototype which I wasn't particularly happy with, so which is why I redid it. So I don't want to waste this completely. So what I thought I would do, I've got a pretty little rose here, and I'm going to punch that out and you make use of that. So that's going to be one part. And then on here, scissors. I've got this little rose here, which I want to make use of as well. But I can't get in close enough. So I'm just going to cut this. Sorry, Mr. Butterfly, I'm cutting your wing off. Your wingaroo. Let me just see if I can get that in there by doing that. And then I want to trim that down there a little bit, because I just want to get in a little bit closer to the rose. Probably gone too far now, have I? No, that works. Look, There we go. Okay, let me just get that in there, about there, I reckon. There we go. So I'm going to make use of these little bits and pieces by taking bits off of them, basically, so that doesn't go to waste. I might even just cut her out and do something with her. Maybe make a journal card out of her. Yeah, because that's all nicely backed anyway, so that would make a nice journal card. Got to use these things up, haven't you, rather than go to waste. So let's do this. So it's Saturday. What have you all got planned for the weekend? Have you got anything nice planned for the weekend? That looks really lovely, doesn't it? I can hear something squeaking and I don't know what it is. How bizarre. I'm just going to pop a little bit of ink around those. And now I'm going to stick them on here. What is that? Oh, I wonder where that come from. I know what that is. I'm going to pop these ones on here. And I thought that would go nicely with the flowers on the front of this one. So just using up my bits of stash and my little bits and pieces that I have lying around. And now then, I did on the other one, I attached this to a bit of board. Maybe if I put my ruler down there, and I've got a clip somewhere, there it is. Let me clip that onto there. There we go. Tra-la, where there's a will and all that. And now I can pop that under there. I want it probably about there, I reckon. I think that'll do. I can always cut it off a little bit if I need to, can't I? Oh, is that... Sorry, I just thought I felt that detaching itself from its backing, but it hasn't got a backing. Right then, I'm going to pop that one on there. Give them a squash down. Try and centralise a little bit would be nice. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. There we go, that's better. Let's better arrange it. Give it a squish down, make sure it's all glued nicely. Take that off, pop that over there. And then we've got that one. Now then, I'm not sure that that's up high enough. I must ask you to excuse me. I have got a really tickly throat at the moment. And I keep coughing. And I've got the loudest cough in the world. So if I do cough, I will take it out. But if there's a pause in the video, that's why. Excuse me. Right, I'm going to trim that off just a little bit. I've just left too much of a thingy there and I don't really like it that long. I'm going to trim that about there, I reckon. And that's that one. So there we go. Those have both been done out of little offcuts that were left in my stash that I just wanted to use up. So that's those two now complete. So I'm happy with those. Let's pop those aside. And then the next bit on the agenda, Amanda did her Friday freebies last week, and she did these beautiful things. And they are little notepads with clips on. She showed you what you could do with them. And I'm heavily into printing 2 to a page at the moment to get different sizes of everything. I've kind of got addicted to that little bit now that I've learned how to do it. And so I printed 2 to a page, and I've cut a little bit out. And what I've done with it, you may think, well, why am I using that when the journal is actually in red? But what I have done is I have, instead of the blue design, I've covered that over with one of the little roses from the Romantique journal. And all I did was measured it out, cut it and attached it. And then I put the little clippy bit over the top to go with the journal. And I've just literally tucked one of the little bingo cards in there and one of the little labels, and that's just going to act now as just a little bit of fun ephemera to go inside the journal. So, you know, if things aren't the colour that you want, you can alter them. But the other thing as well is I do know that Amanda does have these little note pads in her collections on, if you go into a Facebook group, into the files section, she has these just plain ones without any detail on, so you could effectively put whatever detail you want to on them. So that's those. So that's that one. And now, what else are we doing? I want to make a journal card from this little lady here. So I'm going to trim her up. And what I've also done is I have also arranged all my little cutout ephemera to work for me more effectively. So I've laid it all out. I've got a little table next to me, and I've got everything laid out and lined up. How big do I want this? About 4 inches, do we reckon? About 4 inches probably. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Yeah, so everything's lined up and sorted out in size order, so I won't be rummaging around when I'm on videos. Can you see this okay? When I'm on videos, trying to find bits and pieces. It's that one. I maybe could have left that as a little background, actually. I think I'll put a little background on it. And that one. So she is now very nice, and I can use her as a journal card. And look, I mean, I've only just started this journal and I've already got a massive amount of little offcuts and things. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I don't know how I managed to do this so often. There's not a bit in there, so I'm going to have to use my original stash. And let me find what I am looking for. In my other tray, these are my non-used papers to date. What do I want to put on the back of her? I want to put her on the back, perhaps. Although she does actually go on to the spotty one, but that looks nice, doesn't it? Like that. Or do we want to do this one instead? Not sure about the stripes on that one. Or we've got this one. No, that one's completely wrong. And we've got the spotty one. I'm going to put her on the spotty background just because that's how it's been designed in the... Yeah, I'm going to use that one. And that's a bit of an offcut as well. So I'm using my bits, which is where we want to be. So I'm going to glue this down first of all. Do I want to... I'm going to trim around these edges so I haven't got quite so much of a... Now, the only thing is this isn't backed. Am I bothered? Don't know. We'll have a think about that. I could always put something on there. Yep. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me get a bit of glue paper and pop this on here. I'm going to pop a bit of glue on. I did mention in a previous video that I've started using this quick stick, and I was going to report back as to what I thought about it. It's okay. It does the job. But I've got to be honest, I'm not as keen on the on the texture of it as I am with the Yoo-hoo. It doesn't seem to be as smooth, and it tends to gloop up quite a lot. So yeah, I think on my next, I always buy in bulk because I find it cheaper to buy in bulk. So I think on my next purchase of glue, I think I'm going to go back to my Yoo-hoo, unless anybody can recommend anything else to me. But yeah, that one, like I say, it's okay. It does the job. I'm just not as keen on it as the Yoo-hoo, just for reference. Okay, let me pop that about there. And then I'm going to trim around the edges. Now then, I'm just thinking I should have perhaps trimmed those corners before I stuck that down. Too late now, job done, never mind. Just give that a good old wipe. Got gloopy bits on there. Okay, and now I'm going to trim this up. What I do want, let me trim it down that way first of all. I do want to try and keep some of the little dots so that you can see it's dotty paper. Use that for something else. And then on here, I can still feel glue on there. Why can I still feel glue? There we go. And then on here, I'm just going to trim this down a little bit just so that edge isn't quite so large. That's that one. And I'm going to trim it down here. I'm just eyeballing this really. I'm not measuring anything. That's that one. I shall use that piece for something else. And then I'm just going to take a little bit off this side too. About there, a bit less. There, about there. There we go. Nice little journal card. And I can embellish that and do little bits with it to make it look adorable. Now then, I know I didn't round my corners there, but I am going to round my corners here. I do think journal cards look nice with rounded corners. Actually, that doesn't look too bad, even though I did forget to round the corners on that. Hey ho, mustn't grumble. Just going to throw a little bit of ink around the edge here. It's a little bit soggy. There we go. I could have thrown a bit of ink around the image as well, couldn't I? Never mind, it's all right. Lots of things I could have done, should have done, would have done. It's always about the afterthoughts, isn't it? Right then, what are we going to put on there just to add a little bit of extra je ne sais quoi, as they say? To say me. What am I actually covering up there? That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Might use that, or might use that, and then do we want some flowers? No, we don't, because there's too many on there already. Nope. Just having a little play. Like that. That's quite nice. Then that could act like a little tuck as well, couldn't it? What can I just put here? Maybe one of the little butterflies. What do you think? And that looks quite nice. I feel I'm going to cover that up there. Maybe put that there. Then that could be a little tuck, and we could put a little something else in there, couldn't we? Yes, we could. That's what I'm going to do. So, let's do a little bit of inking. There we go. A little bit of ink round here. Do you know, I absolutely love this kit, but if any of you have actually got it and are working with it, cutting out the little keys, I'm not going to lie, is a challenge. Yeah, I absolutely love them. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But for somebody that's not heavily into fussy cutting, yeah, I did find it a bit of a challenge, not going to lie. But never mind. They are beautiful. You couldn't not fussy cut them because you couldn't possibly leave them out, could you? And it's all part of the fun, which is the most important thing. Righty-ho. I think, now then, I think I will put that side because that's the plainer side of the two. So I'm going to pop that on there. But I only want a very thin bead of glue because if we're going to use this as a little kind of a tucky spot, I don't want to be putting too much glue on. So I'm going to put the glue on here. And I really should have this on a glue mat. I am being very naughty. Let me just get a piece of paper to put that on. Oh dear. Where did I decide I wanted that? About there, I think, didn't I? Maybe a little bit further. Oh dear, yes, I have. Oh dear. Didn't position it very well, did I? Never mind, eh? About there, I think. Will that do? Oh, it's going to have to now because I'm not messing about with it. There we go. I think it's a bit too low down, but it's okay. It's all right, isn't it? And then we're going to pop that about there. Yeah, probably that'll do. So I want the glue again about there, down here, and sort of round here, I think. I'm going to pop another little bit of paper just under there so that it doesn't stick whilst I'm gluing. There we go, pop that in there. Now then, you shouldn't be able to get that all the way down there. I need to add a bit more glue on there, I think. You just pop a bit of glue on there. Hold that in place. Pop that there. Now we're going to pop that on there. Lovely. Pop my little butterfly down. Oh gosh, I'm all fingers and thumbs again today. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pop him there. Very pretty. And I think I'm going to pop my little Amore. Do I want it out slightly? Or is that just getting silly? No, I'm going to pop it on it. Pop this on there. I have got no idea what time I started this video. I'm an idiot again. I didn't look. Okay, we're going to go with that about there, I reckon. Okay, so a little journal card. Haven't decided what I'm going to do on the back there now. And that looks a bit messy, doesn't it? I hadn't thought about that. I don't like that. I think that looks a little bit messy, to be fair, for a journal card. I suppose I could use it as a pocket, couldn't I? I think that's going to be a pocket because I don't like that. Just looks messy to me. Whereas if I use it as a pocket, it's not going to matter. So I can use it either as a up, down pocket there, side pocket there, and I've also got this little bit here, which I can put one of those in. That's fab, isn't it? Like that. That's really nice. What else have I got? I could also put... Oh, something's just fallen down the back of my desk. I have no idea what it is. I'll find it later. And I could put a little tag in there as well, couldn't I? Maybe I could use the same tag. Nope, I don't want to use the same. What else have we got here? I've got... Look at me, look. All different sizes. Aren't I a good girl? See? Got them all sorted out into size order. Normally I'm scrabbling around looking for the right size. Right, I feel that size is too big, so I'm going to go with the middle size. And I just need to find one that works, basically. Let me get these bits of paper out of the way. There we go. And put the pin in your glue on. Righto. Tra-la, that's that done. Okay, let's have a look, see. That I think is too samey. That's the wrong design. Oops, come on. Let me... Oh, I don't want to part, do they? That's quite nice. Quite like that. Okay, that's a possible. Oh, this one's nice. Oh, this has got the perfume bottle on. Oh, yeah, I like that. Bit of continuity there. That's what we're going with on there. Lovely. Let me pop those over there all nice and tidy. And pop some glue around here. Where's my trimmer? Trim my little corners. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There we go. Pop a little bit on the back too, because that can be used for journaling. There we go. And I think I'm going to pop a little bit of niceness in there. So I'm going to get my little Prezi, which I love. I have got the big crocodile, but I do find I prefer the handheld one. The big one's nice if you're doing a big project, but I do like these because they're so much more user friendly, I guess. The big ones are very clumpy, so like I say, they're okay if you're doing a big project, but if you just want them for a quick hole like that, they're a little bit on the clumpy side, to be fair. Just my opinion. Right then, I'm going to pop that in there. I'm going with the gold throughout here because the little eyelets to me look like gold ones. And I'm going to give that a squidgeroony. And have we squidged it enough? Yeah, I think that'll do. Lovely. Now then, what am I going to put in here? I'm kind of going, I don't want same throughout the journal, but I do want continuity, and I'm finding that this works really well as just a little tie. And it's a shame not to use it because I bought it. I don't buy an awful lot of craft stuff, to be fair. Well, I haven't done for a long time. I'm trying to get through this year with buying minimal amounts because I have so much, and this is why I'm doing the stash busting videos, so that I can start using up some of the bits that I've got in my stash. Now then, I know this sounds really sad, but I am keeping these tiny little bits as I cut them off. The reason being, let me show you why, if I can remember which one it's in, probably not. This one. So in here, if I show you, I just added in these tiny little bits of netting behind there, just to add a little bit more kind of depth and interest. And they weren't any bigger than that, literally any bigger than that. You know, that's literally what's behind there. And I put two tiny little bits of it underneath there. So that's why I'm keeping these little bits, because they're quite nice for just adding these tiny little bits of embellishment on. Mad, aren't I? I know, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. Right then, so that's 3 little things. Oh no, we've done 4 little things. No, we haven't. We've done 3 because that's part of that, isn't it? Oh well. Oh well. Right then, so that's that. Now then, I think I'm going to leave it there. There are other things I want to do, but I think for today's purposes, oh, do you know, I've just seen these. I don't know if I want to use these now. Do I? Oh, goodness. I'm falling in love with this bling. I really am. Is it too much, do you think? Might be, mightn't it? Wouldn't hurt just to put a little bit under there, would it? Just a tiny smidgeroons. Let me see what it looks like. Just a few tiny little smidgeroons. We love a smidge, don't we? What does that look like under there? I don't know, but I like it. Now I've done it. No, I don't think I'm going to. I'm not enamoured. Pop it on there. It's new. What about on the tag? Will it work on the tag somewhere? Sometimes it just does, and sometimes it just doesn't. That's the truth of it. Oh, get on there and let me have a look at you. Stop messing about. I actually quite like that on there. I'm doing it, folks. I know, I'm sorry. I am doing it. Let me bring this round here. And then I'll let you go. Because I've no idea how long I've been on here. I don't think it's been an hour, but yeah, there's only so long you can sit here watching me fiddle around, isn't there? There we go. Again, for those of you that haven't seen any of my other videos yet, these are sticky back things, but I am putting a bit of glue on because I've not used them before and I don't know how sticky they are. I think that's lovely. That just adds a little bit of blingaroon, doesn't it? We like that. And that looks nice in there. Oh, love it. So exciting. Right then, so I have got, let me have a recap for you. I have got, my signature is sorted. I have made what was going to be a journal card. It's not. It's going to be a little pocket. So there's one little pocket with a little tuck in there. My two little, where's my other one? My two little notelets are now complete. Happy with those. So we've got those as well. And we have a tiny, tiny little notepad, little tuck in, just to add a little something else to the journal. I'm not quite sure where that's going to go at the moment, but it will find a little home somewhere in something. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed already, love to have you along. And I look forward to seeing you all for Mishmash Monday. In actual fact, all of my videos are getting a little bit mishmashed, to be fair. But hey ho, I hope you like what you saw today. See you Monday. Take care, everybody. Have a fab weekend. Bye.